welcome to India today. And tell me, how are you feeling with all the love coming your way?
It's not just love. I am getting a lot of hate also. So I am I am balanced. I just want some peace of mind. I think.
So firstly, tell me what a great visual memory that remains where the team was dancing on the red carpet. Tell me, how did that happen? I think
So
it's
we
the
have
first I have seen anyone do that.
because I think we have the song in our film. I don't know the lines exactly. So the one old Hindi song that Divya and Chayaji, their characters dance in the film for that song. And Payal told me one day that so they asked the director what to play while we walk on the red carpet, if some music that we would like. So she said she has chosen this song. So we were like, wow, that song, like that, because it's an old Hindi song. So when we reached there, they were already playing some other Hindi song. I think because we chose this Hindi song, they played kind of some random Hindi song that's nothing to do with our playlist, or I don't even know. So that mood was already there, like Hindi
Yeah.
songs and all. But the moment they played our song, because we always dance for that song, I think spontaneously everyone ended up just moving and dancing, and what's happening, like a yeah, very very impromptu, like we don't know like I think we were just happy and relaxed, so everyone was just doing their thing.
Yeah. But can you tell me, like, how did it happen? How did you meet Payal? How did the film happen for you?
So Payal, 7 or 8 years ago, she has reached out to me uh because she has watched some short films of mine and she liked my acting or something. So she said she's writing a film. It's a Malayalam film, and two nurses are there, and she wanted me to play the part Divya is playing, actually.
Okay.
Because the film she watched me in it, she felt I will be able to do it just like that or something. She felt it, so she called me for that, and she
Hmm.
sent me the script back then. And it was a slightly different draft, but story was the same. And then she said next year we will shoot or something, and then it just didn't happen. Then I messaged her, then she
Hmm.
said she's in Paris, then she was making a documentary. At that time she was in FTII, so this kept postponing. Then I forgot about it. Sometimes such nice work comes and then it doesn't happen, and I'm like, this will be one of that, I don't even know. And then a year before she called and said finally it's lit, it's on. And then I said, now I can't play that younger part. Like like back then I could have played either this or that, but she wanted me to play that one than the
Yeah.
elder one. And now I was like, okay. Then she said, okay, let's do an audition also, because this one was not something we were thinking. And then eh, I did an audition, and then I felt maybe she was not very happy with my audition. So I said, Pal, I know that you've told me we'll do this, but it's okay. Of course, you should be able to audition other actors and then see. Let's see what happens. And I think she kind of and in fact, Divya also auditioned for this part only first.
Oh.
And that too, two times she also auditioned. And then many people, wherever I went in Kerala to my friend's house, everybody was reading the script. She has already so many people. And then Payal called me one more day and said, come again and we'll do one more. And the second day when I went, I think she then decided to
Wow.
go with me. And then Payal was looking for this other part, and was auditioning many people. And also she asked Divya if she can audition for because she's anyway younger than me, the other part that I was originally supposed to play. So then Divya, I think, auditioned some 4 or 5 times with Payal, multiple times with this character. Payal really takes her time to really decide. I think, except Aziz, one actor from Kerala who played one of the main part as well. And Chayaji also, I don't think she auditioned. They just read. I
Hmm.
think this my character and Divya's character, and then Hrudu is playing this another character.
Yeah.
All these three, and even Asisika's character, a lot of people have auditioned, but he hasn't done many. His
Hmm.
I think first reading only Pyle said he's wonderful. Let's just take like that. But otherwise, yeah, we all quite practice with Pyle a lot to be
Yeah.
able to reach there. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Kani, of course, what made a lot of noise was your political statement, that watermelon clutch that you carried at the red carpet. What was the thought behind it? And of course, I'm sure you must be getting a lot of hate for that, but tell me about it. What made you do that?
So I don't know. I think I'm a true Christian inside me. I don't know. Like whenever I feel happy, I feel guilty instantly. That's how my brain always works. Something like I'm like the world is so unfair, and why am
Yeah.
I getting this fair treatment suddenly? And something like this I have. But I mean, despite that, anyway, this last years has been for all of us. I think a lot of things are going around in the world, and I think kind of hopelessness is there for me at least.
Yeah.
And so when I finally, so I did not know I was going to go because I'm shooting currently, and they had to reschedule a lot for me to be able to go. So I was not sure if I'm gonna go. So finally, when I decided I could go, I was like, I don't want to be completely indulged in this happiness of celebration, even though it is there. I also want to be very grounded, like we are not in the right place in the world
Mm.
currently, and how to go out. Something like this was bothering me there. And then and something that was bothering me a lot was, of course, one of the most bothering thing is what's happening in Palestine. So I was like, okay, I probably want to show my solidarity to it, because anyway I'm thinking of it almost every day on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of us are. So hence I was telling this friend of mine who is also like designer and stylist. She so I didn't want to particularly wear something for red carpet. I did not have such ideas, but she was like, maybe I want to do something. And I said, see, I want to wear something that I wear, and I want to buy it, and I will wear it after all. So I don't want to do like something that I don't wear and completely.
Yeah.
I have no problem in people doing it. It's also like a performance, so it's okay. But I did not want to do it. So I saw one sari at her shop and said, okay, this only I will wear. Before that, even before picking up on the way to her shop, when we were in the car, I told her, I want to do one thing that I'm sure. I want to show solidarity to Palestine. This I want to do.
Mm.
I don't know what I'm wearing. I don't know anything, but this I want to do. It can be whatever I'm choosing. It can be probably an embroidery of a watermelon, probably, or a brooch of watermelon.
Yeah.
Or so we started. So then I said, or like a map of Gaza or something, like with
Yeah.
like some, should I do that? So we were just talking about it, and then we reached her shop, and then I saw this. I said, this I'll wear. Then we were like, should we put an embroidery on? Like we were thinking all this, and then after a few days we had a call, and with the French team and everyone, or like a Zoom call, whatever, that they were talking about the protocol to follow, and they were saying that there'll be at least three things that you have to have. And I thought it's like one attire and you can just go and come back, but then there was like three things, and I'm like, okay. And then I heard that everyone else is wearing like very solid, like either black or like dark blue, like very solid thing. And then I thought, okay, then I don't want to stand out wearing like that sari that I wore in the end, like a stripe. I didn't want to stand out in Delhi. So I was like, okay. Then I told my friend maybe something. Anyway, I have to bring three things. So that's how we ended up wearing that. And then the clutch went well with it. I think in terms of, because I told her that I want something mono one color, so that
Yeah.
this yeah, something, and it should be white, I thought, because we were already making the embroidery, and ideally the watermelon should have the white, and it was more of an yellowish color that she was doing. I said, so I wanted white in it so that it becomes in the right
Yeah.
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 But I
And
was
that.
thinking it's anyway not just me. A lot of artists who have come here there
Mm.
had solidarity to Palestine, and even other things. A lot of, we all are like having some kind of fights or some kind of, showing solidarity to things, and all that was there. So a lot of artists have shared such sentiments in
Yeah.
different things. Even I also had this French festivals were not giving right
The
uh,
Writers Association. Yeah. The
yes,
screenwriters.
so they had this badges about it in French only. So we were all wearing that also. So it was not just one thing, there were many things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But can you tell me, like, as an actor, when you make such political statement, as you rightly spoke about in the start of the conversation, how you were receiving hate, does that become a little bothersome that you cannot be true to yourself, true to your art?
First of all, I'm sometimes like, I don't know, like so much unnecessary attention sometimes comes. See, even for me, like I don't have to get also. I personally like Kani doesn't have to get this attention. Also, it's not about me getting attention. Also, so, even so that also goes too much. Even that is too much. I feel it's not just the like where people are like, wow, why you do it? Kind of. Oh, is there only Gaza? What about like Israel? Or like what about what's happening in
Yeah,
Ukraine? And why you're not saying that, but this? Why you choosing over this and that? Like all the whataboutery that people have generally.
exactly.
Um, I mean, and also too much giving attention to it also, I feel, to me, when it's coming, I find that also weird only. So yeah, I mean, I'm not so much bothered about such things actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One is
Yeah.
because such things has happened to me already, like if I've acted in a film, or I
Yeah, I
have
was about
acted
to
in a
come to that.
yeah, or not just that, even before I know which film you're talking about, but even before that, for what I do, oh, you did that there, why you don't like? So it's not the first time, so I'm okay. I mean, it's their right to also question and let it be. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? So yeah.
Yeah. But of course, as you rightly mentioned, everyone has just picked out biryani and have been trolling that you, of course, acted in it. Tell me, Kani, does it become important for an actor to kind of pick up projects that they believe in, or actually take some roles which they can look at it objectively? They do not need to be relatable
Hmm.
or just kind of voicing out what's your opinion. Tell me, how do you kind
See,
of function?
it for me, ideally, I would like that, but it's not just about what I believe in. A lot of people are saying, oh, the politics of it. For me, it's of course politics has a problem, but as an artist, I have way more problem in the aesthetic sense of it, or artistic way of expression of it. Like even that is politics for me. Like
Yeah.
how a gaze is happening, what kind of lenses you're using, or in a story, what are you choosing to show in terms of its costumes, what you wear, and the acting they're expecting.
Mm.
All of this, ideally, I would like to be part of things that, where my mind right presently resonate with, to something that I'm so or something that I have been never experienced, or something very
Yeah.
entirely new. Even in its politics, if something is, even if that politics is wrong, something that I've not thought of, and something like, I'm like, oh my god, how did that complex thing these people have come up with? Even if it's just a politics of it, or if it's in the narrative aesthetics, something that I'm like, wow, how did they come up with that? Or something
Yeah.
that really challenges me. So either any of that, or something that I am reached personally. Like, okay, this I will be able to do now. This is something I would like to do now. This is maybe one style of acting I would like to explore. This may be a different like, interpretation I want to do for this character. So yes, ideally as an artist, I would like all this to fall in places so that I can grow with it. But then as
Yeah.
an actor, you are never at the privilege of that. You're always with some directors who may have a different journey in all these things, and they
Mm.
might be wanting to do something where they are at. So it's not just the politics for me. As an artist, I have
Yeah.
a lot of such things in demand, and it has
Mm.
nothing to do with only film as well. Even in theater, there are theater productions that I have done which is not falling for my aesthetics, or the way they were looking at a scene and everything. I would like to explore it differently. But then as an actor, I am already signing up with the director, and his expression or her expression, or the way they are going to articulate, is what it's going to be, because that's why they are directors,
Yeah.
unless it's an actor's production. So this is not the first time I felt, oh, I ended up doing something that I did not want to. I
Mm.
have done many things like that. In fact, there will be two, three, except two, three films or two, three play. Every play I have done to every film I have done, I have so much of difference of opinion in its aesthetics, in its way of storytelling, in its gaze of the characters, in its politics, everything. So
Yeah.
I don't know why one film is even in question in that way, but I
Yeah.
understand, because the current situation, if a film is, because even the directors, when I read the script of Biryani, even I felt it a little bit like, and not just politics, like even the aesthetics and all, it's not my thing. But then for Sajjan, he said it's his story, his life story that he wants to.
Mm.
This was the one film that was close to his own life, and he want to do it. And then for me, it is his right to do it. If I don't
Yeah.
do it, some other person will do it. And He so that if he was not if it was not his life, and if it was his gaze to other, maybe I wouldn't have done it
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah.
this was more of his thing that I was like, okay, I get that as well. And then for him, um even accepting an actor who was not entirely getting it was okay. He was like,
Mm.
I said, see, as a craft, I'll try to do my best, but this is my opinion about it. And when I questioned that, see, this is the politics that I feel about the film, which I don't agree. And he said, that's not what I'm showing at all. So either his craft is not so good that it has been interpreted
That
as
way. Yeah.
Islamophobic in a way that, including me, to many people, it communicated that way. If he did not want it to be like that, he will have to work on his craft that nobody will feel it. One. Second, aesthetically also, it's not something I would like to. If I want someone to make be, I want them to. If I want to make them feel some in a way, this won't be the way I will
Yeah.
show it. But then this is not my film, it is his film, and it is his chance, and it is his time to explore how he wants to.
Absolutely.
This is how I see it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I see it. I only feel if I have plenty of such choices, like aesthetically challenging, acting wise challenging, and politically something that I haven't thought, even if it is something wrong that I, by the time I finish, I'm like, oh, this won't be something that I would agree, but it was still challenging. It still is kind of exciting if it is
Yeah.
like that. But most of the things that comes is not that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how it's been.
Yeah. And I was reading an interview, Kani. You mentioned how you faced a financial crunch and you had to pick up projects that you did not want to. Do you think after the success of this film and the kind of global attention it has got, things will change for you? Things would become much better?
Actually, in the past 2 3 years, not this film or biryani or anything, but
Yeah.
past 2 3 years, somehow I've been lucky to get work from Bombay, where I got more auditions or something, and I ended up being part of some web series or something. So finally, I have some money to save myself and to be able to say no to things maybe I don't like a
Mm.
lot. It
Yeah.
it it yeah, I don't know. It's not Payal's film, but already it is better than before for me for the past. I would say Okay Computer and Maharani. That's when,
Yeah.
at least from Hindi, I've started getting work where I felt okay, I'm not in that kind of situation anymore, like that. Yeah.
Touch wood to that. But is Bollywood something that you want to kind of explore? The Hindi film
No.
industry? No,
One is because I
wow.
don't really speak Hindi. So always this whatever character so far I've got is South Indian character with who can have broken Hindi or this Kerala accented Hindi. So it is limiting that, where I'm not such a
Yeah.
good actor who can sometimes get the accent so right. I'm not that great. So my best will be always in Malayalam, I would say. But so I don't really feel, but except there are directors who I in Bollywood that I don't know if I can call it Bollywood, but whom I really love their
Mm.
work and I would love to be part of. For that, I even think, should I just like, I'm willing to, if I get an opportunity, I want to brushen up and work on my Hindi. One would be Sri Ram Raghavan, then Kanu Bail and
Wow.
Deepagar Banerjee. So there are directors who I felt, okay, these
Mm.
people I would love to work with, you
Yeah.
know. But then yeah, for that I'll have to unless the character is again from South or something. Yeah.
And I read
Yeah.
about how you added this interesting surname to yourself. But please tell me,
Yeah.
how did you think of it?
I don't think I thought of it. I don't remember who thought it. It's either my mother or father or me. Um, yeah, like I did not have a surname. It was because my mother didn't
Yeah.
not want to put caste or religion as my second name. So when she put me in the school, she had to kind of really argue with the administration to not have it, even though we have the right to not put it. She had to really convince them that we don't want it. So some time was lost and they were already annoyed. And then they said, okay, what's her second name? And she said, she doesn't have anything. It's just Kani. And they were like, that's impossible. She had to have something. We want to put her father's name. And then my mother was like, that is not happening. Like, she was like, no. Then she didn't want to again fight. So she was like, okay, K. I think she was tired. So, and by the time I was in by board exam time or something, the teacher said that now we need to know what this expansion, because it's going to go to your IDs and everything. And I come back home and my parents were like always teasing me. Okay, I was in teenage time, right? So they were like, "Ha, you can put Kunda Mandi." Kunda Mandi means like troublemaker, or like all
Okay.
these kind of bad words they were saying. Like in that, I think my father or somebody only said Kusruti means mischievous or naughty or something.
Okay.
Then I said, okay, I'll put that only for fun. And he said, yeah, put like, so
Wow.
like in spontaneous thing, I just did it. There is some perks of having that second name. I think even before, way before me, like now, because you act in some film and all, people may recognize you. But before, way before all that, when I go to like some boring office thing or like bank things and
Yeah.
work and everything, you stand in a queue and finally you reach most of the employees, because they are so tired by
That
their
is, yeah.
job, and they might have a grumpy face or they're like this. But the moment they read my name, they're like, huh. In Kerala, they're like, what's your name? Kusruti. Ha, ha. They become light, basically. So I was like, oh, this is a nice idea to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're spreading smiles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And talking about Payal, everyone is talking about how there's a FTI case against her and she has to now go
Yeah.
and, of course, attend the hearing. What is the kind of conversations you guys had about it, and what's your opinion on this, Kani?
Actually, we never had a proper conversation about this. And plus, we are in a different timeline now. And I mean, in the shoot time, though, of course, we did not have any time to talk about any of our things so much. But still, the camaraderie was so much there that I felt, okay, now I have a new friend. That was the
Yeah.
feeling with Payal. And this time also when I was leaving, I was crying. I said, I miss you. I did not have time with you. That's one thing I wanted. And you were just so busy and I had to come back. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I was telling her, please come home. I want to spend time with you. So I really, truly don't know exactly what's happening
Mm.
with her. And I haven't had the chance to talk to her now about how she's going about it.
Yeah.
So I have no comments about it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also tell me, I saw a picture with you and Anaswa, and it was such a beautiful click that's there. Tell me about that moment, and seeing her win the trophy, also winning that honor must have been
Incredible.
special. Yeah.
So it is so surreal. So I live in Goa since 7, 8 years, and Anasuya lives also in Goa. And we
Okay.
have a common friend, okay, Tanmay, who's my co-actor in another film. It was made in Malayalam, Nishitho. And he's a wonderful actor and wonderful person, like probably the kindest co-actor I have had. So I very rarely gain a friendship from a co-actor. I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
friendly with them, but to have a like a proper connection where you want to be in touch, you want to meet this person. So I very lazily to make an effort to meet someone. And then Tanmay has shifted to Goa and I said, I want to meet you. And I don't generally go out in Goa so much. I am very happy at my home. So I have started going to his house and meet. And then I met Ansuya through Tanmay. Last year, like briefly, 4 5 minutes, little bit. Then I don't know her. I know that she's a production designer. I didn't know much. Then
Yeah.
Tanmay tells me one day that he has also moved in with her. They're sharing a house. Then, like literally 2 months ago, in March or something, the Holi is happening, and Tanmay said, "Come home, we will celebrate." And I said, "I don't like putting color. We will just hang." And he said, yeah. So I go there and I meet Anasui. That's when I get to spend time with her. An instant connection we both had. We both were like, how come we didn't, like, I'm so happy that I took a picture of her and another friend and I posted it on Insta saying, like, goddesses, like, I just love them. And I don't know, she acted in a film that time. Nothing I know.
Yeah.
Like, we were just like happy to be. And then after I come back home, we kept messaging each other. I said, we should really spend time. And she said, come next week also. But then I couldn't go. And we were like that. And suddenly this selection comes and she's over there. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is happening? We're gonna meet there. And then we were like so excited. And then Tanmay was also there in the same film, and it was
Wow.
too much for us in that kind of happiness. Then we go there, and then her film I couldn't watch. By the time we reached, the screenings
Yeah.
were over. But then she came for our film, and she was very overwhelmed. Tanmay was overwhelmed, and I was very happy. We were like, wow, what is going on? And then Tanmay was telling me she has acted in films, but not big like lead roles or something.
Hmm.
This is one time. She's like, wow, that's amazing. I said, I want to really see. I don't know. And then the next day we hear she won the first prize.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And it was too much. Actually,
Yeah.
I want to go back to Goa and want to spend time with her. I want all of us to spend time. Like, it was incredible. And
Amazing.
see, I am yet to watch her performance, but as a person, I think she's one of the warmest person I've seen.
Wow.
Extremely grounded. Like, there is literally no filter on Anasuya. Like,
Yeah.
she's just there. And I rarely, I don't know, I at least end up meeting such people very rarely. So I feel very fortunate to have
Amazing.
met her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And lastly, tell me, Kani, like, has there been a conversation around the release of this film in India? Has that happened with you guys?
So Payal and the producers, all of them said that in France they're trying to release it by October. I am assuming only in India it will happen only after that. So that much
Yeah.
only I know now. I don't know if it's going to be a release or I don't know if it's going to be only festival. In India I don't know,
Mhm.
but in France there will be a release.
Yeah.
We are, we just back and then I was in shoot. I thought like
Hmm.
little time we will give each other so that then I can ask
Absolutely.
and talk about like everyone
Yeah.
is like in too
Yeah.
many what just happened.
Yeah, and everyone's
Yeah.
already talking about this film should also go for the Oscars representing India. I hope that happens.